Good morning to you all and good day. Thank you once again for tuning in with me. From today and the next few days, I'll be talking about organizational culture. I'll be talking about culture. Culture is big these days in companies, whether it's business, whether it's church, culture is big. Culture is critical. And I want to challenge you in the next few days to make time to invest more in defining your culture as a church, as a business. I believe that if you've got a healthy culture in your organization will achieve its vision and its purpose. The goals that you set, you'll definitely achieve them. Culture is good for a number of reasons. A healthy culture is critical for team building. A healthy culture is critical to keep your employees, your staff fired up. A good culture is very critical. And that's what I'll be touching on the next few days, culture. Because if you can take time to invest in your culture, to building healthy culture for your organization, I tell you the truth, you'll definitely reach all your goals and your vision for your company. And today I want to start by helping you to define your culture. Define your culture. Your vision defines your culture. Your vision defines your culture. Your values defines your culture. That statement that you have for your company, for your organization, is not just a statement. It says so much about you. It says so much about what you stand for. It says so much about what is. Now, it says so much about the things that you stand up for. Culture is important. Your values, your organizational values defines your culture. Those are not just words that you have written, whether it's 5 words or 6 words. They're not just words. They say so much about you and your organization. And they actually direct your employees and influence your employees and your staff and your workers. Therefore, it's very, very important that you should work hard in defining your culture and be very clear concerning your culture. You see, culture also comes from the leader and the people around him. Culture comes from the leader and the team around the leaders. You see, leaders, you need to be very, very careful of the things that you do in front of your team, the things that you say, how you behave, because your behavior, your actions, your words says so much about your culture. For instance, if you're a kind of a leader that is easily threatened, that doesn't care about people, that is the culture that you are building in an organization. But if you're a leader that cares, if you're a leader that is always there for his people, if you're a leader that encourages people to grow, if you're not easily threatened, if you're a leader that encourages flexibility and creativity in organization, then you are building that culture. You see, culture comes from the leader and from the team. And that is why it's critical as a leader, if you are managing in your company, make sure that your teams, are in line with you in terms of the culture that you want to build, in your organization. I said yesterday that, one of the ways to define culture is to attach words, to culture. For instance, some of the organizations, one of words that defines their culture can be high challenge, high intensity, loyalty, faithfulness, excellence, honesty, truth, grace. What are those words that, you can name and they can help you define your culture? What are those things that defines your culture? And I want to give you 2 statements which are questions. In this quest of you defining the culture of your organization, you can use these 2 statements to guide you in defining that. The first one is who we are. It's critical as a leader, together with your team and your staff, to answer that question. Who we are. Who we are as a company, who we are as a church. What are the things that we stand for? What is important to us? What is it that we hold high? What is it that is holy to us as a company, as an organization? And the second statement or question is about who are we becoming? See, here's the thing, leaders. Every day you are becoming something. Every day your organization is becoming something. The things that you do, the things that you say, you are becoming something. And it's very, very critical as leaders to always ask that critical question. Who are we becoming? And these are not once-off questions that you need to ask, once-off statements that you need to engage in as a leader in your team. But these are the things that you should do yearly. Yearly ask these critical questions. Who are we and who are we becoming? I've been working in religious organizations for years, and the last church that I've pastored for the last 8 years, one of the things that were very critical to me when I took over the church was to change the culture of the church, because I was not happy with the culture in that organization, because my vision needed a culture that will make it much easier and comfortable for me and my team to accomplish our vision. Therefore, building healthy culture is critical. And that's what I did in that church. Changing the culture, changing the environment, changing how people relate to each other. And remember, I said culture comes from the leader and the teams. The number one person that must display this culture that you are defining is you, the leader. And then secondly is your teams. And I want to encourage you, start this journey as a leader together with your teams of defining the culture of your organization. Because if that could be clear, then I'll tell you the truth. You will definitely achieve and accomplish your purpose and the vision that you have as an organization. Remember, as I conclude, I said there are two statements or questions that you need to consider as you define your organization. The first one is who we are and who are we becoming. Those questions will help you in defining your culture. I want to ask you to join me the next few days as we'll be taking a journey and talking about culture, because I believe that healthy culture for organization is critical for you as a leader, for your organization in achieving its goals, and for employees. You will have happy, fulfilled employees and who are fruitful in their work when you have healthy culture. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, and God bless you.